Hello everybody and welcome to the fourth part of What If Midoriya Was the Shield Hero, the reboot to this great What If that I'm loving doing. It's a great change of pace from doing My Hero Academia centric What Ifs, and I'm very much enjoying it. That said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, which almost catches us up with our previous continuity. Enjoy everyone, hit that like, subscribe, and all that stuff that YouTube wants you to do, and enjoy the video. The clock runs out, and suddenly, Midoriya and the other heroes, along with their parties, are teleported to a forest. Raftalia looks up at the sky and gasps. So Midoriya looks up too, seeing all the monsters from the wave coming down into the world. "Come on, let's go get this boss," says Motoyasu while he runs, his party following close behind. "Whatever, let's go then," says Ren while he and his party follow behind. "You won't leave us behind," comments Itsuki while he and his party run behind Ren. Midoriya turns to Raftalia and says, "We should probably follow." They both start running behind the heroes, catching up to them rather quickly. "So what's the plan?" asks Midoriya when he catches up to Itsuki. "We're going to find the final boss of the wave, the Chimera. Kill it and the wave ends," Itsuki answers. "And where is the Chimera?" Raftalia asks. "It's up ahead," answers Ren. An explosion is then heard, catching the attention of Midoriya. He stops in his tracks, looking at where the explosion came from, seeing the remnants of a flare in the sky. "Come on, Midoriya, let's go," comments Itsuki, wanting to move on, seeing that Midoriya stopped. "You guys go ahead, me and Raftalia have something else to do," states Midoriya. "Where are we going, Midoriya?" asks Raftalia. Midoriya answers, "To Loot Village. It seems like they're going to need some help." Itsuki wishes them luck, and he catches up to the other heroes. Midoriya then grabs Raftalia, activates a 1-for-all up to 20% and rushes towards the village. After a minute of running, he arrives at the village, quickly dropping Raftalia off before jumping at a monster, saving a man, a merchant, from being killed. "Are you alright?" he asks while looking at the man. The man nods. "Right, then get out of here. You need to evacuate the town. It isn't safe here," Midoriya orders. The man nods again and starts running for his life. He then spots a group of people with improvised weapons standing up against a horde of monsters, so Midoriya rushes in to help, smashing one of the heads clean off before punching another monster, throwing it back with enough momentum that 3 others are pushed down. Spotting him, Raftalia rushes in, slashing another zombie from behind before it can hit Midoriya. "You should be more careful, Midoriya," she states. "I will," he says. "Now help evacuate the people. I'll keep these monsters at bay." "We want to help," says one of the villagers. "Yeah, this is our village," states another. "I appreciate that you want to help and understand, but if you all get killed, who'll be here to rebuild your village? No one." "So, evacuate," Midoriya orders, while heading back into the fray. He fights them off for a while, using a combination of skills and his quirk in order to keep all the monsters contained. After 3 minutes of fighting, he finds himself starting to be overwhelmed, with a bee monster managing to sting him. He keeps fighting them off, but one manages to sneak in from behind. Before it can hit Midoriya, however, Raftalia rushes in, cutting the monster's head clean off, killing it. "I thought I told you to be more careful," Raftalia states while slicing at another monster. "I am being careful. There's just a lot of them," Midoriya comments. He then asks, "Did you finish the evacuation?" "Yes, we did. Everyone's at the mine. They should be safe there," Raftalia answers. "Good. Now we just have to keep all of these guys busy so they don't follow," Midoriya states, kicking another one against the floor with enough force to kill it. After 1 more minute of fighting, some weird lights jump off into the sky. "What's that?" asks Raftalia. Midoriya, realizing it's something dangerous, rushes to her side and shouts, "Airstrike shield!" A shield materializes above them, blocking the flames that fall from the sky. A laugh is then heard, followed by the words, "We burned them all to death in a simple strike," the head knight says while he and his group enter the town. He then spots Midoriya and says, "Oh, the shield hero. You're pretty tough to survive that." Realizing what just happened, Raphtalia gets angry. She draws her sword, but before she can attack, Midoriya stops her. She looks at him with a confused look. Midoriya then glares at the head knight and shouts, "You have any idea what you just did?" "Why, certainly. We just took down all these monsters with one attack," the knight answers, with a self-satisfying tone. "No, you didn't. Most of these monsters were already dead. We were fighting them while minimizing the damages. We were throwing them against already damaged areas and luring them there. With the attack, you just set more of the village on fire," Midoriya states, a bit of anger in his voice. "Who cares? As long as the monsters are dead, everything's fine," the head knight comments. "You didn't even bother to check if there were any civilians here. What if your fire had hit them, or even killed them?" Midoriya sneers. "Then they would have gone in service of their country," the knight answers. "I'll remember you said that," says Midoriya while reactivating One for All and rushing at the knight. He doesn't hit the knight, however, passing by him and hitting a monster that was going to kill him from behind. The knight then turns around, spotting a bunch more monsters that are entering the village. "You know, for a knight you aren't aware of your surroundings," Midoriya comments. He turns his gaze to the horde that is coming. "Listen up. If you're going to survive, you're going to have to cover us. We need 3 groups. 1 to attack them head on, the other 2 to assist from the flanks. If you have any ranged attackers, have them assist from behind us, where they'll be safe," Midoriya orders, while jumping at a monster, bashing its head in and pushing the body to pin another one down. Raphtalia follows, slicing 2 on the way, before cutting down the pinned monster. "St. Louis smash!" Midoriya shouts while hitting a monster with a vertical roundhouse kick to the face. Seeing all the monsters that are entering the town and with a touch of disdain in his eyes, the head knight orders, "We're leaving this town. It's a lost cause. Let's go assist the other 3 heroes." Most of the knights follow him, running away to help the others, but a small group of 8 knights stay behind to assist Midoriya. He adjusts his strategy and they keep them all confined to the village entrance to minimize the damages. They keep fighting until the other heroes kill the Chimera boss, effectively ending the wave. After it ends, he, Raphtalia, and the knights that stayed behind go escort the other villagers back to the village. Midoriya helps out a bit, administering some first aid, something he learned after his provisional license exam, and he also helps out to set some emergency shelters, which he also learned during that exam. While he's helping set up some shelters, a knight comes up to him and reluctantly says, "Thank you for your help. You know, they're holding a banquet as a reward for defeating the wave. You should probably go." He then goes back to the castle town, leaving Midoriya to help out a little longer. After an hour and a half of helping the village, Midoriya and Raphtalia head to the castle, where the banquet is being held. When Midoriya arrives at the party, he's spotted by Itsuki, who asks, "You're only just arriving? Where have you been all this time? Leveling up?" "No, nothing of the sort," answers Midoriya. "I was helping the village of loot, administering first aid and setting up some temporary shelters. Stuff like that. About half the village was destroyed in the wave, after all. Would have been less if the knights weren't there." "How so?" inquires Itsuki, curious. "Oh, they sent fire raining down, kind of ruining our efforts to reduce damages," answers Midoriya. "Midoriya, do you mind if I go get some food?" asks Raphtalia. "Go ahead," answers Midoriya, his stomach growling. "Do you mind getting some for me too?" "No problem," says Raphtalia as she leaves. "So the knights didn't help out much, huh?" asks Itsuki. "No, they didn't. Most of them even left after the monsters returned," Midoriya comments. "Huh. They appeared to help us, but only after the fight was completely over," Itsuki comments, reflecting on their reuse. "So do you have any advice to get stronger? Get stronger weapons and such, or where to level up?" Midoriya asks, using the opportunity to get a bit of an advantage. While Itsuki explains the power-up methods of the bow to Midoriya and a couple of good places to level up, in another part of the party, Mine whispers something in Motoyasu's ear, while pointing at Raphtalia. Raphtalia returns to the table where Midoriya is, with 2 plates in hand. She gives one to Midoriya, grabs some utensils, and starts eating, with Midoriya following suit. While exchanging stories with Itsuki, Motoyasu approaches the table and throws his glove at Midoriya's feet. "Time to fight," he says, some anger restrained in his voice. What's going on? Midoriya asks, confused. I believe he's challenging you to a duel, Itsuki comments. Oh, in that case, I politely decline, Midoriya responds while taking a bit of his food. What? You can't decline. Not with what you've done, Motoyasu hisses. Now accept the duel! I'm not accepting. I don't think you know how duels work, Midoriya comments. Oh, what have I done that you would make you want to fight me so much? How can you even ask? You made poor Raftalia here your slave, he thunders. She obeys your every command. I don't think you understand the situation, Midoriya comments. You see, I don't care for your excuses, you foul man, Motoyasu sneers. Free her or face me, he demands. I could if I would, but... Midoriya says before being interrupted by Motoyasu pointing his spear at Midoriya's face. If you won't free her, I will win her freedom in the duel, Motoyasu says. And what happens if you lose? Midoriya asks, curious, knowing that Motoyasu won't have an answer. If you win, that won't happen. There's no way the shield could win, even with your... What did you call it? Quirk? He says. Humor me for a second then. What happens if I win? Midoriya asks. Fine, Motoyasu says. If you win, which won't happen, things can stay as they are. Midoriya lets out a small chuckle, leading Motoyasu to ask, what's so funny? You really don't understand how duels work, do you? Midoriya says. Motoyasu looks at him confused. In order for it to be a fair fight, both parties involved have to get something of value if they win, Itsuki states. Fine then, what do you want if you win? Motoyasu asks. Midoriya thinks for a moment and says, money. How about 500 silvers? 500? If you win, I'll give you 1,000. No, 2,000. There's just no way it's going to happen, Motoyasu states. Deal then. If I win, I get 2,000 silvers. If you win, you can free Raftalia from her slavery. Either way, I win, Midoriya joyfully says. But Midoriya, Raftalia comments. Don't worry about it, Midoriya answers. See you in battle then, Motoyasu says as he leaves. Not that it won't be an interesting battle, but why do you have a slave in your party? It doesn't seem to fit your character, Itsuki comments. Oh right, I haven't told you the story yet, Midoriya comments. He then proceeds to tell Itsuki the story of how he met Raftalia. Okay, I get it. Makes sense. You just wanted to save the girl, Itsuki says upon hearing the story. Yeah, but I didn't have enough money to remove the slave seal at the time, and she's been insisting on using our funds on materials instead of removing it, Midoriya comments. I don't mind at all, Raftalia interjects. Shield, we're here to escort you to the grounds of the duel, says the knight. Time to go then, Midoriya says while following him. The duel is then prepared with each party being escorted to a waiting room. There Midoriya tests the theory, trying to grab a sword, but he gets the same help screen as always. Huh, so it only works with one for all. Why? Midoriya reflects out loud. Once all the audience has gathered, an announcer walks to the center of the stage and says, the duel between the spear and shield heroes will now begin. This duel will end only when one of the combatants is either pinned or admits that he has been defeated. This duel will take place in the presence of the king and the pope, and is thus legitimate and official. The two combatants are then led into the ring, with both sides being wished luck. Midoriya's wished luck by Raftalia, and Motoyasu by mine. Once they reach the center of the arena, Motoyasu says, remember the folktale about the irresistible spear and the immovable shield? Do you mean the immovable object and the unstoppable force? Midoriya asks. Whatever. Just be a man and admit defeat, Motoyasu states. With a confused look, Midoriya says, what? I'm pretty sure you don't know what being a man is. He fights in what he believes in. You wanted to fight so badly and now you just want me to quit? Worse, you want me to quit before the fight even starts? I say that makes you a coward. Motoyasu grits his teeth and readies the spear. The announcer shouts, ready? Begin! Immediately, Motoyasu channels his anger, rushing at Midoriya with his spear. He hits him twice, with Midoriya blocking each attack. He then rushes in, shouting, "Chaos Spear!" A bunch of spears appearing, lunging at Midoriya. He jumps back, shouting, "Airstrike Shield!" A shield materializes in front of him, blocking all the spears. "Not bad," Motoyasu comments, gaining some distance. "But can you stop this? Lightning Spear!" A bolt of lightning comes out of Motoyasu's spear, going towards Midoriya at an incredible speed. Midoriya activates One for All, full cowling at 20%, and before the lightning can reach him, he grabs it, swinging it around and shoots it back towards Motoyasu, the bolt of lightning hitting him. "What the hell?" asks Motoyasu while recuperating from the attack. Midoriya just stands there in a battle-ready position. Anger seething from Motoyasu, he charges at Midoriya, spear first, ready to attack. Once he gets close enough, Midoriya grabs the spear with one hand, using it to pivot and strike Motoyasu in the stomach, throwing him back. The spear disappears from Midoriya's hand, reappearing in Motoyasu's. "That is like a truck! How is he so strong? He's just a shield!" Motoyasu thinks out loud. Midoriya shouts, "Is that all you got?" Anger emanating from him, Motoyasu charges at Midoriya, shouting, "I'll show you what I got!" He lunges at Midoriya over and over, but Midoriya just keeps evading the attacks. "I've got him off balance," Midoriya thinks. "No, I just have to find the right moment." There! He grabs Motoyasu's spear, separating it from him for a moment. He then grabs his wristband and pivots him, throwing him against the floor. "Last time I had to use that was against Shinso," Midoriya thinks. He stands on top of Motoyasu for a moment, without anybody saying anything, when suddenly he's hit by a gust of wind throwing him away. "Ah, that hurt!" Midoriya whispers while hitting the ground. "This is my chance," Motoyasu states, while getting up and charging at Midoriya. Midoriya, on the other hand, stops using One for All and focuses on blocking Motoyasu's attacks. After a couple of moments, he catches his breath. Reactivating the quirk, he sweeps Motoyasu's legs, causing him to fall down. He then jumps on top of him, pinning him to the ground. He then raises his shield, preparing to block any wind attacks. A minute passes, with Motoyasu filling with rage while trying to escape Midoriya's grip. Then 2, and then 3 minutes pass. "Come on! When are you going to end this?" Midoriya shouts. "I've had him pinned for a while now. Not only that, I've been blocking your air attacks. I'm pretty sure I won this duel, so just end it." With his head looking the other way, Motoyasu asks, "What are you talking about, air attacks?" Midoriya answers, "Oh, your friend, mine, has been throwing in air attacks to throw me off of you for a while now." "What are you talking about, you cheater?" Motoyasu shouts. In his watching booth, the king sighs, gets up and says, "Though it pains me to admit, the shield hero has won this match. As agreed upon, his companion will be set free and he will be paid his dues. 500 silvers. "Wait, we agreed on 2,000, Midoriya shouts. He looks at Motoyasu, trying to get him to respond, but he's in his own world. "I lost?" he whispers. While Midoriya, Raftalia, Ren, and Itsuki argue with the king for Midoriya to get his reward, Motoyasu just sits there, pondering his defeat. He cheated! He must have cheated! He can't have just won with just a shield! That power, those cheats, I want them! I hate him so much! He whispers. He strikes his spear against the ground in anger, with a small fog enveloping him. "Do you seek power?" a voice asks. "Huh?" Motoyasu says, confused. "Do you hate him?" the voice asks. "Yes," Motoyasu answers. I hate him. I hate him so much." "Do you want his power?" the voice asks. "Yes," Motoyasu responds again. "Curse series unlocked. Spear of Rage. Spear of Envy," his help screen says. "Fine. He shall receive 2,000 silvers then," the king proclaims. At that moment, Motoyasu gains his composure. He lunges at Midoriya with a new spear equipped. Before he can make contact, however, Ren jumps in the way, blocking the attack. "What are you doing?" Motoyasu snaps. "Why are you interfering with our duel?" "Duel's over, man. You lost," Ren says while pushing him away to gain some distance. Midoriya prepares his shield as Itsuki draws his bow. "Stand down, Motoyasu. Midoriya won fair and square," Itsuki says while pointing it at Motoyasu. Motoyasu stands down, changing the spear back to the default. "Fine," he says, his voice full of anger. Itsuki and Ren then glare at the king. "Forgive me, Sir Motoyasu, but I have to ask you to give the shield the 2,000 silvers you owe," the king reluctantly says. Motoyasu pulls a small bag full of 20 gold pieces and throws it at Midoriya. "Here, we're square now," he says while turning his back on Midoriya and leaving. After the duel, everyone decides to call it a night, with them going to bed at a nearby inn. During the night, someone breaks into Midoriya's room, sneaking in. However, when they do, a small alarm sounds, waking Midoriya and Raphtalia up. Midoriya immediately activates One Fall and strikes the robber down, incapacitating him in one fell swoop. "What happened?" asks Raphtalia, dazed and confused. "Someone broke into our room, but the alert shield skill activated, waking me up. This really is convenient. At least I won't be robbed again," Midoriya says. "Who is he?" "What's he here for?" Raphtalia asks. "Probably some thief who heard we got some money and wanted to steal it," Midoriya theorizes, while tying him up using the rope shield. Regardless, they interrogate him, not gathering much information as he confirms Midoriya's story. He wanted a quick buck and overheard some nobles talking about how the shield hero got his hands on a lot of money. Once morning arrives, they drop him off at the guard station and head back to the castle to receive their rewards for completing the wave. It goes off without a problem. Motoyasu is given 4,000 silvers, Itsuki and Ren 3,800 silvers each, and Midoriya is given the minimum, 500 silvers, because he didn't participate as much during the wave, the exact explanation the king gives. Midoriya leaves having received his money, while the other heroes stay behind and are given crystal balls and other resources to help them. Midoriya and Raphtalia walk towards town. They turn a corner and waiting for them is a guy with a sword. "Hand over your money and belongings and you'll make it out alive," says the mugger. "Do you want to take care of this or should I?" asks Raphtalia. "You can do it if you want," Midoriya answers. She then pulls out her sword, quickly disabling the guy. "So what are we going to do with the money?" Raphtalia asks. "Seems like everyone is coming after us trying to steal it." "Well, first things first. Let's get rid of the slave seal," says Midoriya, as they set off to the slave merchant's tent. And that's where I'm going to leave it off for today. I do hope you all enjoyed. I'm getting closer and closer to where the last series left off, and next episode should catch us up. I believe that will put us one part behind last one. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to come up with a lot of decisions here about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the way this What If is going. And if you did, do what YouTube wants you to do and hit that like and subscribe button. That said, have a nice day, everyone. Bye!